Welcome back to our video. It's me, Passifloria here, and what I'm doing today is I'm doing another build. So this time I decided to do a bit of a smaller house just because I thought that after the last build, and that was a huge build, I just didn't want to do anything that was so big for now. So I just decided to do something a little bit more smaller, more suitable for like a smaller household and stuff like that. And I found an inspiration picture, the one that's actually on the thumbnail of this video, and it came with house plan and everything like that, and I basically drew inspiration from that. So the house looks very similar to the one in the picture, but there's a couple of differences that I made, which you'll see along the video, because I just wanted to add my own little special touch as well. So yeah, but basically the main exterior actual build of the house was pretty quick because it was a pretty straightforward house. It doesn't have any intricate shapes or anything like that. It's pretty simple, but here you can see me playing around a bit with the sort of colors of the exterior. Of course, I knew what I needed to do because of the inspiration picture, but I just wanted to find the right one that kind of fits the real life house the most. And then I was messing around with the stairs. So basically in the inspiration picture, the stairs were like a swirly stairs or something like that, the round ones. And basically, I don't know why, but I don't think they're a thing in The Sims 4. I know that they're a thing in The Sims 3. I don't know why they never even did it for Sims 4. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't have them in my game, so I was like, you know, well, I guess I'm just gonna use those stairs. And then I kind of just like turned them a bit so they are the closest they can be to those kind of like swirly stairs. And then I did this kind of like back porch / terrace balcony situation. I don't even know what you would really call it. Started doing the landscaping, and it's very simplistic in the inspiration pictures. They're literally like those bushes that I placed. I think that was everything that was actually in the inspiration picture. But later you're gonna see that I'm gonna do a little more with the backyard because I wanted to make it look a little bit more like filled and stuff like that. So that's what I'm gonna actually go for later. But yeah, so then I'm just adding the pavement and whatever. Yeah, so I'm just finding the garage door and adding that. This exact one was literally the same exact garage door it was used in the inspiration picture. So I was pretty excited that I had that, you know, like it's really nice to find like an exact duplicate in Sims. And the windows that I used are also actually very similar to the ones that were there in the real house. And so yeah, just, you know, here I'm smacking in some windows, a bunch of little windows, which I'm actually going to end up changing, and you guys are going to see later why. It's a problem that I'm going to notice later. But yeah, and then just messing around with the windows and trying to find the right one because I really wanted to duplicate the exact way that the windows were in the inspiration picture. So yeah, just try to play around, kind of find the right one that fits. And yeah, and I actually really like how those windows look. I like how big they are, and I think they definitely fit the house really well. Then I added that little trim, and the little trim technically wasn't in the inspiration picture, but when I added it, I was like, yes, this actually really fits. It really breaks up like the sidewalls that are pretty like plain, because like one of the sidewalls, like the left one, is literally just like a plain wall. It has like a couple of windows, but yeah, it just looks really plain. So that little border that I add, the little trim, it really makes it look so good. So yeah, and then I added a couple more windows and whatever, and then I wanted to add these sort of like dirt trims to all of the tiles that are outside. I later on also added some trims around like the actual house, and I really like that because it adds like a bit of depth, and I don't know, it just makes it look better in my opinion. So yeah, and then I worked on the landscaping a little bit more. So this tree, like the pine tree and the rocks and a little bush, that little situation actually was in the inspiration picture, but the bushes I chose to do for around the garage and the one tree in front, that was my own addition. But I do really like how it looks. So yeah, and then one cool thing I wanted to do was add a pond in the back. I don't know if I've ever added a pond in any of the builds, but I really like how this looks. I wanted to make it look like flowy and kind of just natural and stuff like that. And so I did that, and then I just wanted to add a bit of foliage kind of around the pond, just so it doesn't look like just one random puddle in the Sims backyard. So yeah, I did that, and then kind of like messed around with the terrain paint a bit, and you know, stuff like that. Tried to do this like one terrain paint that was like a pool pattern terrain paint, but that didn't turn out too well because some dirt wouldn't change its color. So I kind of just retraced my steps, added a bit of rocks, a bit of flower bushes, you know, because I love flowers and everything. I just think they look so cute. Added a little bit more to the bushes that are there right by the house because I thought that they looked a little too plain. Shortly, I'm going to be adding in some trees. So I just really like how trees look in backyards. I feel like they just really make the house look cozy and a bit more like, I don't know, they just give more privacy, I guess. And so I wanted to add like a nice mix of trees, have some trees go actually a bit in the pond, and just kind of have them like surround it. And yeah, I really love the space in the backyard. I think it looks so pretty. I like it a lot. And yeah, and then I just messed around a bit more with like the dirt and stuff like that. And I wanted to add like light little splotches. So turn the like opacity really down and then add like light splotches of dirt to the grass to make it look like it's not like one solid color. I mean, what really helps is I have this like terrain sort of mod, and it makes the grass and like the already existing foliage, rocks, trees look a bit more realistic. It kind of gives them a bit of a different texture, and in that mod you already have like the grass has like naturally some spots that are not as green and stuff like that. So if you guys also want to get that, I will have linked it as well at the bottom of the CC list. So if you want to get that, it's there. It's of course optional. You can get it if you want, you can not get it if you don't want, but I really do like it and I'd recommend it definitely. But yeah, so then I just kind of moved into the lighting of the home. I wanted to really light up the backyard and just kind of like make the house light up when it's dark. So yeah, and then I wanted to do those like string sort of lights, like lanterns. They would have actually looked so good in the whole backyard, like where the trees and the pond is and everything, but I couldn't quite make it work. So I kind of was just like, nah, I'm just gonna like hide some lights in the bushes around the pond and also a bit in the pond. And then yeah, I do really like how that turned out. I think it looks quite good. But yeah, so I added a bit more lights, you can see, and then I wanted to add a bit of a path because it didn't really make sense that Sims would have to walk on the grass to get to the actual stairs where they can enter the house. So I wanted to add this little path going around, so when they get done with the garage, well, technically they can leave through the doors and go, you know, the path is in the back, but I wanted to also add like a path going from the front, just to kind of make it more realistic, and you know, maybe they just wouldn't want to stomp all over their grass, so something like that. And then yeah, so then I moved into the inside. So basically I have separated the rooms, I added the walls and everything, and the lighting as well for the whole place. And we are starting with, of course, firstly the flooring. I decided to go for like a medium sort of brown, really nice like reflective flooring, so it looks like really shiny and clean. I really like that look a lot. Of course, yeah, I just painted the walls white, and then I got into the kitchen. So the kitchen, it's quite a small space, so I had to work with that. And I decided to actually draw a lot of inspiration from the one picture that they've shared along with the house. So basically for inspiration, they shared a picture of the inside of the house for the kitchen area and also for the living room space. And so the layout of the kitchen's really inspired by like the picture that they gave. They had like the cooker, the stove in the middle, fridge to the right, extra like kind of cabinet on the left, and then just like one island right in front of that. And I really like how this works for the space. I think it's definitely big enough for this place, as I feel like generally this place would probably be intended for a household of like 1 to 2 people, I would say. Definitely, I think 2 people max. I mean, of course, you could kind of renovate and move some things around and later you're going to be able to see that I'm going to do like a master closet and like a storage closet, and I guess that you could technically make into one room, like a nursery if your Sims were to have kids in this house. But I think generally in this sort of layout, it is perfect for like a couple or something. So yeah, and then actually I really like this color situation that I chose for this place. So generally it is black and white. I mean, honestly, me not using black and white would be like something out of this world. I'm always using black and white because I don't know, I like that. They're staples for me. So yeah, and then I just wanted to add a little bit of extra something with the kind of like medium wood that we have going on. So I did that for like the top cabinets, and I also did it as an accent on the bar stools. So yeah, and then the main idea was that since the kitchen is quite small and there isn't too much counter space, I wanted to actually not clutter it up too much. So, well, technically they can't really use the counters that are next to the stove. They can only really use the two like island counters that are next to the sink, but I think that should still be enough. Did still want to add something to the kitchen, so I had to choose whether to add a coffee machine or a microwave because I couldn't do both, and I decided to go for a coffee machine because I really like that one coffee machine, so I wanted to use it. And yeah, and then I just added this really pretty kind of like statement light above the island, and yeah, so then I moved on over to like the dining area, and it was really hard to find a sort of like dining table that wasn't too big. I wanted to use one that was like a 5-seater. I didn't want to use the one that's 3 wide. I wanted to go for the one that's 2 wide. So I found this dining table, and this was probably the closest to the wood color that I could possibly find. And then I also found those dining chairs right there, and they're kind of like these metallic-y ones, and I really like that a lot. So yeah. And then I was looking for a nice little rug to put under the dining table to make it look a little bit more cozy and filled in. And then I ended up going for like this really dark like black one, which has like interesting pattern, and then I just threw some flowers on top of the table to really make it look really cute, and then moved on over to the living room. So the living room also, as I said, had an inspiration picture. I kind of drew slight inspiration from the picture, as in for the layout, but not so much for the colors. The colors were a little bit different. So for the layout, it was generally, the couch was at the same spot that I put it, and there also was a fireplace and a TV above in the inspiration picture. But of course, yeah, the colors were different, and yeah. But I really like how this living room turned out. You guys are gonna see shortly, but I don't know, I just really like it a lot. I think it looks so cozy. Like, they can invite a ton of friends over because they have this ginormous couch. And yeah, and that really matches also with my kind of thought when I was doing this place. What I was generally thinking was that the owners of this house would be like a couple without kids, as I said, and generally like their vibe is sort of like they have a lot of friends, they love inviting them over for dinners, hanging out with them, and stuff like that. And that's why it's important for them to have this space, like for them to have a dining table that can seat the friends, you know, with extra bar stools and like a big enough couch for the friends and stuff like that. So I feel like that living room really accommodates to that. And yeah, and then I was thinking whether to put like a side table with a lamp or to do like a floor lamp next to the couch. And then I found one really beautiful floor lamp, which, yeah, it's this one. I love it. It's like really oversized, and I really like how it looks, and yeah, I just really like what it adds to the living room. So then I wanted to add a couple of cluttery things on the mantle. Not the mantle, but like the top of the fireplace, I guess. I don't know if it's called a mantle. I don't think it's called a mantle, but yeah, just the top of the fireplace. a couple of little things, again, to make it look more lived in, a couple of vases, a nice little hello sign and stuff like that. And then I also wanted to add a couple of things to the couch. I didn't want to do more pillows. Usually I add a lot of like really decorative pillows, but I wanted to keep it a bit more simple this time. And yeah, and then I was looking for a coffee table. So there were a couple of coffee tables that I really liked. They were wooden, but I couldn't find the exact wood color again that would match the dining table. So I ended up mixing together two of the same coffee table, and I really like the shape of it actually, and it really like fits well with the size of the couch, and then, you know, everything like that. So yeah, and then I did that, and I added a couple of little things on the coffee table as well. And yeah, so just I adjusted the window there because I saw it was a little crooked, so did that. And then I moved into the little storage closet. So I didn't do too much with the storage closet. Sometimes I had like some cleaning supplies, whatever, but this time I decided to do like a little gradient effect of storage boxes, and they could put whatever they want in there and stuff like that. And then I moved to the bedroom, and this is the master bedroom and really the only bedroom in this place. And yeah, so I decided to kind of carry on the color palette and the style sort of into this room as well. So I did wooden touches, I did like a little black accent wall. Also, one more thing I forgot to mention was that yeah, I was so tempted to use like gold accents, as I always tend to use gold over silver, but this time I decided that I wanted to use silver. If I'm going to use it somewhere, then I might as well use silver, because I don't know, gold is like my literal weakness. I'm always using it everywhere in every house. So yeah, decided to do a little bit of a silver accent in the bedroom. And then I was just looking for stuff to put on the wall, and I decided to do that little print. Of course, gotta love a big mirror in the bedroom. I pretty much always add those. And I really like that dresser a lot, but again, I had an issue with the wood not matching, and because this ain't Sims 3, I was not able to recolor it, because normally, you know, you would just recolor it in Sims 3 and just be like, great, now it matches. But yeah, that wasn't the case here, so did that. And then I ended up choosing this type of dresser because it fit the wood the best and stuff like that. And then I wanted to place a little TV on the dresser initially, but I couldn't find one that I liked that actually has like legs, you know? So I ended up just choosing one that's just like wall mounted and stuff like that. And then I'm just jumping around adding random plants somewhere. I really like that little floopy plant, like the one that kind of floops over furniture, but I couldn't really find a spot for it, so I ended up not doing that. Added a couple of things on the dresser. Didn't want to make it too like cluttered, but I just still wanted to add a couple of things. Added a nice big rug as usual. Gotta love doing that under beds. I feel like it makes the room look a lot like cozy and stuff like that. And yeah, and then I just wanted to add like just a curtain. Yeah, didn't end up doing those sheer curtains as I did in the living room, as I wanted to just like have more light come in during the day here. So yeah, and then we're moving into the walk-in closet. So this is again kind of like a couple walk-in closet. So like one side would be for one of the people, and then the other side would be for the other person. And yeah, so you have that. Of course, I could have done like the whole open closet concept, but that never really seems to work out for me for some odd reason, because I don't know, I feel like I'm always placing the clothes and they're not really lining up with like the clothing rod. So yeah, I always just go for this closet, like the one that has the mirror. I pretty much use every single time in walk-in closets. It's a favorite of mine, definitely. But yeah, and then I moved into the bathroom. So since the bathroom had quite a bit of space, I wanted to do kind of like an all-inclusive one. So I wanted it to have a bathtub, I wanted it to have a double sink, a shower, of course, a toilet, and all of that, just everything that they could need. And it was a bit hard to figure out which floor and wall combo to do, because I just wanted it to like look right. So you guys are gonna see me struggle with that a little later. But yeah, I wanted to do this kind of like separating wall. Normally I would do like a separate actual wall, but I wanted to keep it a little bit more intricate, so I just decided to place that like glass wall there. And here I'm trying to figure out which tile to use, and I ended up doing that tile because I wanted it to be really similar to the tile that I'm using as a backsplash in the kitchen, so it's like cohesive and stuff. And yeah, and then I decided to do a black tile that's also kind of like simple and isn't too patterned, just to kind of like not make the space too busy. And yeah, and so I did that, placed some sinks in there. I wanted to do white sinks, and I really wish that they would have made white like insides for these sinks, but that wasn't an option, so I just ended up going with it. And then I added a little bit of clutter in there, not too much, just like liquid soap and like the bar soap. And I also wanted to add a little bath mat. And I was searching for one specific bath mat, but I only sometimes can find it. I really like it because it has like little slogans and it's super cute, but I guess maybe it is better that I use the one that I placed now because it's a little bit more grown up and stuff like that, I guess. But yeah, and then I placed some toilet paper rolls around the toilet and like a toilet brush and some bath things around the bath, you know, just to kind of like really fill up the space, and like some products on the floor in the shower, you know, again, just kind of making the place look more lived in as usual. And I also decided to do that kind of like subway tile behind there because I guess it would just make sense to do. And then also wanted to add some prints above the bathtub because that space looked really like kind of empty and stuff like that. So I wanted to add a little something there, and I decided to do like little black and white pictures of New York. So yeah, and that is pretty much that. And then I moved outside for a little bit because I realized that they have this little patio terrace outside area. So I wanted to again add like a little seating area again when they have people over, and also a little barbecue. So yeah, we're pretty much moving into the end of the video now, into the screenshot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell down below to be notified when I upload next. And I'm gonna see you guys next time. Bye!